Hey everybody, it's May 6, 2017, and this is the Chuck Baker Vlog number 371, and it's a Saturday. And how the heck is everybody today? I really want to know. Leave a note down there in the comments. Let me know how you're doing and what you're up to. And I hope everybody's having a good day on this Saturday and not working too hard. And if you get the day off, I hope you're getting some rest. Today I have 6 news stories to talk with you about, so let's get right to it. First one here is Jane Meyer wins $1.43 million in case against Ohio. She was the associate assistant athletic director for University of Ohio from 2001 to 2014, and she was transferred to a different position. And after she was transferred, they hired a man to do a lot of the things that she had done before for $70,000 more than what she was making. And then shortly after that, she was terminated. So she filed a lawsuit against the University of Ohio for gender and sexual discrimination. And they went to court, and the jury awarded her the $1.43 million because she said it had effectively ended her career in the college athletics program. So the jury agreed with her, and she got her money. And I think that is the way it should be, because if a woman's doing the same job that a man would do, she should be getting the same pay. Next story here is United Airlines passenger with ticket to Paris lands in San Francisco. On April 9th, I told you about a story about a 19-year-old who had wanted to go to Sydney, Australia, but landed in Sydney, Nova Scotia, I think it was. Well, it's happened again. This lady, she lives in Paris. She was going back home. She got up to the gate. They scanned her ticket. She went on the plane. When she got on the plane and got to her seat, there was somebody sitting in there. So she got a flight attendant, and the flight attendant had put her in a different seat. And she didn't think anything of it. But when the plane took off and they got down to the destination, she got off the plane, but instead of Paris, she was in San Francisco. So how does this happen? You've got a gate agent there that's supposed to be verifying tickets before you get on the plane. So they're supposed to have on that ticket what their flight number is, destination, seat, things like that. Well, how can that happen? I want to know. If somebody knows how that can happen, please put a note down there in the comments and let me know, because I don't understand it. Anytime I've ever flown, you get to the gate, and the gate agent checks your ticket, verifies it, and then you get on the plane. But beats me. I don't know. Next story here is Kodi Opensource TV app inspires full-blown copyright panic in the UK. Recently, a man was convicted in the UK of copyright infringement because he sold internet boxes that had Kodi fully loaded installed on there. Now, Kodi itself is a multimedia player. It's an open source project, originally called XBMC, and was on SourceForge, but they changed the name and started their own website. So the program itself, Kodi, is not illegal. You can put your movies on there, home movies you have. You can put your pictures on there, your music that you own, you can put that on there. The trouble comes is when you put other programs on there called add-ons that allows you to be able to stream movies and TV shows off of the internet. And they say that's violating the copyright laws to do that. And that's where this guy in the UK got into problems. Now, there haven't been any thing in the courts here in the U.S. yet, but with this coming about in the UK. There could be some cases come up in the near future. So the box sellers are having trouble here because they can sell Kodi by itself, but they can't put the add-ons in there. Um, if anything changes on this story, I'll be sure and let you know. And as always, all these stories are on my Google Plus page, and a link to my page is down in the description, so you can read these at your leisure. The next story here is refugee admissions plummet under Trump USA Today analysis finds. Well, sure, refugee admissions are plummeting because people are afraid to come to the U.S. now. They're afraid that when they get here, they'll be turned away, or if they're even let in, that they'll be deported soon after. So there's people in the past that have come here because they were afraid for their lives in their own country, or they were trying to make a better life for themselves. But with what things are today, um, you don't know what's going to happen. There's been U.S. citizens that have left the U.S., and when they came back in, they had trouble getting back in. One case was a family. The parents were from Syria, but this one girl, she was born in Oklahoma. Oklahoma City, U.S. citizen, has a U.S. passport. Well, they went to Syria to visit relatives, but when they came back, they let everybody on the family in except for the girl. She's born in Oklahoma now, has a U.S. passport, but they wouldn't let her in. So there was no guarantee if you're a U.S. citizen that if you leave the country, you're going to get back in. And that's just crazy. I mean, people with visas, DACAs, green cards are being deported left and right. So my advice to you, if you're thinking about leaving the country, think twice about it, because you could have problems. Next story here is type 2 diabetes can be reversed, says Canadian researchers. Some researchers found that with the proper diet and a combination of a few different medications, that type 2 diabetes can be put into remission. Now, if you don't know what type 2 diabetes is, it's called adult onset diabetes. Older people are getting it now, and my doctor even told me if I didn't cut down on my sugar that I was at a high risk to get it. But they've done this research, and they found in a lot of cases that it can be reversed. So hopefully there'll be more research on that, and if anything else comes up about that, I'll be sure and let you know. And then the last story here is family kicked off of Delta flight after refusing to give up seat used for toddler. What this was this family, they were vacationing in Maui, and when they got ready to come home, they have an 18-year-old son that was going to go on the flight, but they decided to put him on an earlier flight so that they could use that seat for their toddler. Now, when they got to the gate, they told the gate agent what they were planning to do, and they were all fine with that. But when they got on the plane and started getting seated, someone came up from the flight crew and told them that they were going to have to give up their seat because they were overbooked and they needed it for another passenger. The father told them what they were planning, that the seat was originally for their 18-year-old, but he had took an earlier flight so they could use the seat for their toddler. And the flight crew member told them that they couldn't do that because um, the 18-year-old's name was on the ticket and not the toddler's name. And some more back and forth happened, and then they were told by someone that if they didn't give up their seat, they would be arrested, put in jail, and their kids would be taken away from them. Well, eventually they did all leave the plane, and they had to find another plane. Now, the airlines now can pay you up to $10,000 per seat if you're bumped off a flight. Well, you know what? I think they should get that $10,000 for each one of those seats. They had 4 seats, so that would be $39,800 I think should be coming to them. for getting bumped off. And, you know, to tell somebody that they're going to be put in jail and lose their kids, that's just really uncalled for. But, you know, I have a solution to all this, people. It should be made against the law for an airline to be able to overbook a flight. Okay? An airline is the only place I know where you can pay for something but not be guaranteed to get it. You can pay hundreds of dollars for an airline ticket, and you can even be on the plane getting strapped in and they come and throw you off. When you pay for something, you should be able to get that. You shouldn't have to wonder if you're going to be stranded somewhere because the airline overbooked your flight. It should be made illegal to overbook a flight, and if they do overbook a flight, it should be $1 million fine. What do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think that would work? Let me know down in the comments there if you think that would be a good idea or if you think I'm kind of crazy. Either way, maybe we can get a discussion going on that and see what happens. Well, everybody, that's it for today. That's all I have. I want to thank all of my subscribers for sticking with me. And if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And please check out my social media sites, G+, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you missed yesterday's vlog, just click on the image there. And also please check out my website, the Chuck Baker homepage at chuckbaker.org. Till tomorrow, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.